Draymond Green calls out Dillon Brooks. As we know, recently the Rockets Warriors series concluded with the Warriors winning in 7. And going into the series, looking at the makeup of both teams, you got Draymond and Jimmy Butler on one side, and then you got Dillon Brooks, Amen Thompson on the other. Just going into the series, we knew that it was going to be physical. Guys were going to be chirping. It was going to be a couple scuffles or whatever the case may be. We knew that. So after the series, of course, Draymond Green, he has a podcast. He went on and he talked about Dillon Brooks. This is what he had to say.
Dillon Brooks ran off the court. So when I say you see what guys is made of, he ran off the court. Like, ain't shake nobody up. And you admitted that you was trying to hurt Steph's hand, which again, fine by me, bro. Like, I get it. We all get it when you hoop. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna be on that type of time,
you gotta be on that time all
in the press
you gotta
conference,
be on that time all the time.
You're gonna be talking, you're gonna be Mr. Big Bad Wolf. Don't lose and then not face the music. Don't be that guy. Because again, you lose a lot of respect for guys in that moment. I had a moment with Dillon Brooks back when he was with Memphis, and I said the dynasty started after you. And the reason I said that is because things like that. Because, bro, so then guess what? Then Tyree Eason do it. He lead the court. I got love for Tyree Eason. His mom was talking, you know what I'm saying? My mom almost had to get out of it.
You got a lot of, man, you shouted him out earlier in the year, though.
Absolutely. Like, I got a lot of love for the way he played. Yeah. And I ended up catching him right before he was about to walk out the arena, and he was like, he was walking this way, so he didn't have to come by me, but I could, in my distance, I could see him right there. I said to him, I like waved him down, and I went and I dapped him up. And that was kind of a little save, but don't be that guy, man. Like, you don't,
you gotta teach him. You gotta teach him.
You lose a series.
You gotta teach him right.
But that's who Dillon Brooks is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we understand, like, you a sucker, man. You like, but Tyree Eason, he not. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, his mom was talking. It's all love. I don't get off into that. I got a lot of love for young fella because the way he go about his business, the way he play the game. I got a lot of love for him. Don't be like that, because you lose respect. When guys lose respect for you in this league, like, it don't matter, and it's going to catch you in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dillon Brooks couldn't come through in this series in large part because nobody on the court respects you. So anything you do, the way it's going to be looked at, the way it's going to be received, it ain't beneficial to your team.
Man, so there you have it. And Draymond, he touched on a few things that I want to get into. One thing, the sportsmanship with Dillon Brooks, walking off the court, not, dapping up or, saying GG's, whatever, good game to the Warriors. I get that part for sure. Even as a Rockets fan, I just think when it comes to sportsmanship, you lose a game, you admit, or you lose a series in this case, you go up to your opponent, you say good game, and you move on. You try to get better, right? I get that. I have no issue with Draymond said right there. And then he gets to he talks about Dillon Brooks and the, lack of respect that, he may have from other players, or from his actions, you lose respect from other guys. And that's when people, scrolling through the internet, I saw this clip online, right? Scrolling through the internet, that's when people were like, hold on. We're talking about Draymond Green, who in the past but we know Draymond Green's reputation. You watch the NBA, you know his reputation. Dillon Brooks, I'm not talking about the same player. I'm not saying that they do the exact same thing. I'm talking about in terms of reputation. You think Draymond Green, Dillon Brooks, Patrick Beverly, and I'm not knocking any of these guys, by the way. I'm just saying that's the reputation. Like, they're like borderline. Some of their antics or some of the plays they've been involved in is like borderline dirty or borderline, whatever the case may be, however you describe it. That's the reputation that those guys have. And for me, being a fan of Houston, being a fan of the Rockets, Patrick Beverly, man, that dude played hard, man. Of course, it's some things I don't agree with, of course, that he did on the court. Not all the time, but, the dude was one of my favorite players when he was with the Rockets. And Dillon Brooks, he's coming off a I think he played way better this past regular season than he did in his first year with the Rockets last year. So the dude, he played hard, man. And of course he gets underneath people's skin. He's going to talk. He's going to do, he's going to do what Dillon Brooks does, right? And people either, I think this is the case when they're with you, you have, you kind of not turn a blind eye to it, but it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, it brings some toughness. But when the guys are opposed, like if he's on another team, you hate him. You hate him as a fan, probably as a player as well. So that's how I look at it. But getting back to that point, it's like people don't have, not saying I'm saying people don't have a problem with the message Draymond gave out. It's more so the messenger, because it's like Draymond has done things in the past that he was in the wrong. It's like, do people around the league not respect him? Like, has he lost respect from a lot of guys in the league? That's a question. Of course, these players have more intel than I do. They're around, they're NBA players, so they know who guys respect and who guys don't. And this isn't the first time Draymond and Dillon Brooks have, got into it. Draymond called him out years ago when he was with the Grizzlies. Especially when that exit when he left the Grizzlies, coming to Houston, he was talking about how the dynasty starts, like he said in the clip, how the dynasty starts after Dillon Brooks not with him. So I think this is like a ongoing beef. And then Jimmy Butler, if you saw during the series that when they were on the free throw, lining up for the free throw, somebody was shooting the free throw, they were both on the block, I should say. They would talk, going back and forth, and of course Jimmy, if you could read lips, you saw what he said about Dillon Brooks straight to his face. So these guys, Draymond, these guys have more intel than I do. But on the flip side, when you talk about losing respect, have people lost respect for Draymond? That's a question. That's a question that pops up in many people's head, especially when looking at the clip. And like I said, nobody has a problem with, I don't. Well, me personally, I don't have a problem with the sportsmanship mess. Like, come on, just say good game, right? I have no issue with that. What Draymond said, I think, but people have a problem with the messenger, not the message, the messenger. So that's something to think about. And then he talked about how Dillon Brooks not, coming up to the Warriors after the game kind of rubbed off on Tari Eason, right? And kind of affected him in a negative way, because he's a younger guy. I think this is year 3 for Tari, if I'm not mistaken, year 3, or year 4. Yeah, I think it's year 3. But that's setting a bad example in Draymond's eyes. And again, I'm not disagreeing with the sportsmanship part, right? But like I said, I think this is a little deeper than just that. These guys just don't like each other. And again, Draymond has more intel than me. These NBA guys have more intel than me than who people like and who people don't like. So that's that. In the comments, man, let me know what your thoughts on this, man. Do you think Draymond is right in a sense? Do you think it's you think he's the right messenger for this message, or does he kind of need to look himself in the mirror? But in the comments, let me know.